Superb then. Thank you very much once again for joining to this 1 hour webinar on becoming a better public speaker. Hands up if you've ever public spoken. Hands up if you've ever been on stage and spoken to a large crowd. Some of you, great. Hands up if you know how to public speak. Little bit. Yeah, kind of. Still there. I promise you by the end of the session, if it's a thumbs middle, it'll be a thumbs up. And if it's a thumbs down, it'll at least be a thumbs middle. So let's get started by introducing our speakers for today. We're going to start by Mrs. Pushpinder Kaur, who is one of our guest speakers.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Hi, kids. How are you all doing?
Good.
Good. It's lovely to be connected with you all. Lovely to be connected with you all this morning. And it's a very precious moment for me to be connected with your young tutor, Miss Ishnur Kaur, who's a GCSE student. And it's a great pleasure to be connected with her. Is she a source of inspiration for you all?
Yes.
I'm sure she is, yes. So you have to learn from her. She's senior to you, she's a GCSE student, and look at the motivation and the inspiration which has led her to carry on with this mission so forcefully and so enthusiastically that she's reaching out to you children and training you for debates and discussions, right? She's doing that, am I right?
I hope so.
Yeah, great. She's doing a wonderful job. Yes, and I'm also very happy, children, to introduce to you a fast-growing social network called Skillopedia, the founder of which is placed here in Dubai, in the UAE. Her name is Mrs. Monica Arya, and it is through her that myself and Miss Ishnur have been connected. Okay, so I think we should have 3 cheers for social networking, right? Now you see the advantages. All of you have been into virtual learning, and you see how virtual learning connects all of us. And we must be connected with so many people globally, or we can hope to do that. Good, wonderful. And I'm Pushpinder, as I've introduced myself. So I'm an educationist for 30 years. I've been an English tutor, and I started my online learning, online tutoring 5-6 years back. And it has been a great pleasure. And that's how we are here, all of us together this afternoon. We look forward to having a great session, something which will be helpful and useful to you all. Let's begin.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mrs. Pushpinder Kaur, for joining us and for the lovely motivation that you have given these young children. So, for the new faces I can see and for the old ones, I am Miss Ishnur Kaur. My Kaur stands for courageous. I am the lead moderator of Debate and Discussions, which is the initiative that Mrs. Pushpinder Kaur was speaking to you about. By heart, I am an environmentalist with the motto to instill passion towards kindness. And I believe in sharing the knowledge that I have gained and receiving some of your precious ideas and knowledge as well. I am a very enthusiastic artist. I create Zentangles and sketches for fun. That is about who we are. Let's move on to a very fun, interesting activity, which is the icebreaker activity. Now, if you've been with me before, you know that an icebreaker activity is an activity that is conducted at the start of every session to bring all of our amazing energies together to start a splendid journey ahead for this session. So today's icebreaker task is named Unscramble the Mystery. So you're going to see a series of jumbled letters. You have to unscramble it to create a meaningful word. All ready? Thumbs up? I see some excited faces. Some faces are just very questionable. but we will give it a shot. So, your first unscrambled series of letters on the screen. In the chat box, what is the correct word that can be formed? Who is going to be the first one to find it? I see some people typing already. Amazing, amazing. Let's keep going. I want you to use yourself for that, not the internet. We all can find it from the internet. Who is going to be able to find and unscramble the word? Think about why you are here today, to develop something, a skill that you're here to develop. Well done, Jas Raj Kaur. Confident, but Maitra got the exact word confidence, with just a CE missing at the end. Well done, Shayavi and Twishi. It indeed is confidence. I want you to keep all of these words at the back of your head while we are conducting today's webinar. Well done, confident it is. Moving on to the next series of letters. What could it be? Look for prefixes, look for suffixes that you can identify. Maybe that'll help you out. I can see a very common suffix here. I see so many eyes trying so hard to find the word. Don't give up. Come on. You can do it. There's a very common suffix I can find.
Maybe we can give them some cue, another cue.
Sure.
Okay.
The first letter of this word is in the correct place. That might help.
Yeah.
The first letter of this word is in the correct place.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Come on, guys. I know you can. I know it's late in the afternoon. We all have just had lunch. We're really tired. Think about what you have to do after each activity or after each work you produce. Very good, Grace. Bang on. Reflection. Reflection. I see so many disappointed eyes now. Good job. Reflection. Interesting. How can reflection be linked to public speaking? I wonder. Let's see then the next word. This is a smaller word. Let's see if you can find. Interesting, Aditya. Good. What do you have to do before you go on stage? What must you do with your work? Practice. Well done, Akshita. That was very fast. You must practice. Interesting. Next word then. Who can find this word? Practice makes perfect. Exactly, Aditya. What about this word? Any clue? Any clue? I want you to think about it for a little bit before I give you a clue. I know you can. Come on, give it a shot. Before you write something, you must address the what. You must know why you are writing this. What is the why also called? You must know why you are doing something. Purpose. Well done, Shayavi and Twish. You must know the purpose of why. Well done. Last one then. I know all of you can get this very quickly. presenting to you today. You are my what? What are you of our? Audience. Well done. Splendid. That was amazing. You are my audience. Great job on the icebreaker then, boys and girls. Splendid.
Yeah,
Great
I'm really impressed with our audience. They are all smart youngsters. They're doing a good job. Well done, children. So you have been able to identify practice, then purpose, audience. Very good. So can you complete my sentence that all of these are important for? Give me a 2-letter phrase.
2-word phrase. Come on.
All of these, confidence, reflection, all of these are important aspects of.
We have someone in the chat. Public speaking. Well done, Aditya.
Very good, Aditya. Well done. Okay, now we move on to the next step. So have you heard of this quote? He who has overcome his fears will truly be free. Ever heard of it?
Hands up if you have. No, I see so many nods. No.
Nods, okay. Would you like to look it up? You're allowed to look up on the internet for this. He who has overcome his fears will truly be free.
You must find out who is the creator of this quote. Who said this?
Just about 20 seconds, children, not more than that, please, because we have a lot to share with you.
I see so many hands typing so fast on keyboards. Eyes just scrolling through the Google. Well done, Aditya. Aditya has a response in the chat box.
Okay.
Aristotle, he says, Mrs. Pushpin.
Very good. Let's see who Aristotle is, Ishnur.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's have a look. Let's be introduced to Aristotle. Wonderful. Right. So who was Aristotle? Aristotle is considered to be the father of public speaking. And he's widely considered as the founder of the study of public speaking. And what was the time period when he lived? 2,300 years ago, children, from 384 to 322 BC, before Christ. And he has been one of the greatest masters, philosophers, thinkers for us. And why is he so important? Because he was the one who gave us the idea of public speaking, first of all. Can you tell us another word for public speaking, children?
In the chat box, another word for public speaking.
And you're not allowed to go on the net all the time.
One response is speech.
Okay, we'll give you a cue. It starts with R. We'll make it easier and faster for all of us. Another word for public speaking. Recitation. No, that was a good try. Good try. Okay, darlings, it starts with R and it ends with a C. We'll give you the first 2 letters. RH. It's an 8-letter word starting with R and ending with a C. RH, the first 2 letters.
I think it's a new word for all of us, isn't it?
Okay, children. Right. So because we need to be mindful of the time as well. We have 1 hour and we have a lot to share with you. So that word is the rhetoric. Okay, so rhetoric is another word for what? For public speaking. Right. So let's move forward, children. Ishnur, let's take them to the slide.
Yes.
Yeah, so public speaking dates all the way back to the ancient Greece, 384 BC. Aristotle is credited with developing the basics of the system of rhetoric that thereafter served as its touchstone. Right, children? So touchstone is that's what still leads the world. The principles laid down by Aristotle still hold good. And what were those three principles? Do you
Shout
know?
it out if you know. The
Yeah.
three pillars of debating.
Three pillars of debate. Shout it out. Yeah, shout it out. Yes, that's better.
Shout out if what are. Oh, Aditya has the acronym in the chat to help everybody that we did in our
Okay.
summer camp. EPL.
Okay.
Absolutely right. What does it stand for? Or IPL, EPL. What does it stand for, Aditya? You can unmute yourself.
Egos. I don't remember the P, but I remember E and L. E for egos and L for logos.
E for
Okay.
ethos, L for logos. Very
Okay.
Pathos. P is
Pathos. Yeah, very good. That's brilliant. So what does pathos stand for, darling? Yeah. So pathos stands for emotions. Okay. And what does logos stand for? No, what does ethos stand for?
Ethos. It starts with the same letter, the meaning of ethos. It's the appeal of what?
Okay, darling. So it stands for the ethical aspect, right? And logos stands for the same word starting with the same letter L. So that's called logic. Yes, very good, very good. So which means that Aristotle laid down these three principles for the world, okay, which holds meaning even today after 2300 years. So which means that when we are speaking, we need to appeal to your emotions, isn't it? What we are saying should be liked by you or maybe disliked by you. There should be some emotional reaction, right? Can we have some thumbs up? Do you agree with it? Okay, we'd like to have a thumbs up, please. That's very good. Yeah. Or as Mrs. Shinur said, half thumbs down. That's fine. Then we know that we need to explain that a little more. All right. And what about ethos? So ethos stands for the ethical aspect. It relates to the identity of the speaker. Okay, it tells us about the personality, the beliefs, and the convictions with which the speaker speaks. Okay. Now, are we speaking forcefully, both of us? Are we good enough? Yes? Okay. Are we making
to see thumbs up?
Thumbs up, yeah, exactly. And both thumbs up if you like. Come on. It can be both thumbs up as well, children. Yes. And in public speaking, it's not just about the rules laid down by Aristotle. It's about what impact are we having on your emotions right now? Okay, that's what will make us successful speakers. Otherwise, we are a thumbs down. We are really badly thumbs down otherwise. Okay, all right. So pathos is emotions. Okay, so we have EPL as Aditya, who seems to be an encyclopedia among the young kids, right? Okay, good. That's really good. So we've done with the three principles. These were also known as three appeals. Okay, what phrase did Mrs. Shnur use for them? Shnur, can you come up with it again, please?
The acronym?
No. The three appeals. You had used another phrase for it. What was that?
The appeal of ethics, the appeal for emotions, and the appeal of logics.
Yes, absolutely. All right, children. Now let's look forward and let's also read through let's just listen to the definition. Okay, so ethos in rhetoric is the character or emotions of a speaker or writer that are expressed in the attempt to persuade an audience. So what is the purpose of public speaking?
Shout it out.
Yeah, shout it out, children.
What's the purpose of public speaking? What are we trying to do? Shout it out. You don't need to type it in the chat.
Yeah, shout it out one at a time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aditya?
To spread awareness about a certain topic.
Good. To spread awareness. Anybody else? Unmute yourself.
Can I say?
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
To say information about something in front of a lot of people and talk
Very
about one
Very good.
particular thing.
Wonderful. Okay. And do you think persuasion is an important part of public speaking? Yes? Okay. So because we are here, anybody who's speaking in front of an audience, in front of public, is sharing ideas. So the sharing of ideas will be successful only if you're able to persuade our audience, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Wonderful. So we've ethos. The next is logos. And logos, we told you, logos is to do with logic. Okay. So how does logic operate in a speech, darlings? Can you tell us? So when you're on the stage and you're speaking, okay, let's see that you're talking about the endangered species. All right. So how will you appeal to the logic of your listeners? Very good.
in the chat. Facts
Yes.
and
Very good.
logics. Good.
Very good. Facts, statistics, and some examples. Okay, very good. Because we can persuade our listeners only if you're able to provide them with authentic information, isn't it? Right? Okay.
Absolutely.
Very good. So that's very good, Aditya. Well done.
Evidence. Well done.
All right. Now, next is, well, we're done with ethos, logos, and pathos. So pathos is to do with the emotional appeal. All right? Very good. Okay. Now, Mrs. Noor will take over.
Great then. So this was so many years ago. How many years ago once again, please? Shout it out because I forgot. How many years ago?
Greece 348 years ago.
And that was how many years ago from today? 2300 years ago. Oh dear. So let's time travel back to the present. Now we know what happened in the past. Let's come back to the present. How can we become a better public speaker in today's time, in the 21st century? Just like these wonderful figures like on your screen, they are known to be public speakers. They are known to have powerful speeches which hit all the three appeals, and they are known to be leading figures because their words, their speeches, all of them use technical aspects as well as emotions to persuade. Shayavi and Twishu, do you have something to say?
You also have to build up your confidence to speak in many people.
Absolutely. Confidence. And confidence is something that we're going to touch upon in just a bit. So let's try something. We're going to hear a quick speech. It's not very long. And I want you to, in the chat box, try to identify some of the skills or attributes that this public speaker has used in the coming video. So you might have seen the video before, you might have not. That's okay. I want you to list down all the skills. The skills could just be eye contact. If you are already known to debating, you can give me some technical skills that the speaker uses. So let's hear this quick clip.
My message is that we'll be watching you.
Can you hear it? Thumbs up if you can hear it. Superb.
My message is that we'll be watching you. This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth.
Fantastic. A very small clip, just a minute long. I want you to tell me in the chat first who is she to begin with and what skills did she use? In the chat box, who is she and what skills did she use? I will give you 1 minute for this task. As soon as you have an idea, post it in the chat so we can have a look. It'll be amazing if you could turn your cameras on. Expression, very nice. She had expression, good. What else? Oof, that's a big one. Confidence, humor, emotion, eye contact, good. You don't know her name, that is okay. That's not a problem. Eye contact. Greta is her name. Well done. Greta Thunberg. She's an environmentalist. Well done, Vihan. Eye contact. So you guys saw that she was making eye contact with the audience. Great. She had humor at the starting. Good. She had emotion. She had hand pose. We call them hand gestures. She was moving her hands. That's sure, Aditya will do that for you. So she was using her hands, she was using her eyes, her expressions. What about her voice? Prosodic features, well done. Prosodic features are all to do with your voice, your volume, your tone. We'll touch upon that in a bit as well. Emotion, expression, strong voice. Well done, boys and girls. Really, really well done.
Very good.
Super interest. Well done. Let's move on to the next slide then.
Right. And I would like to ask you one question, children. How did she start her speech? What was her opening sentence?
She started with humor, good.
Okay.
Does anybody remember the exact sentence?
Or something close to it?
No, I see blank faces.
So she said, my message is that we are watching you. We are watching you, darling. So we are watching you means, because she's a young environmentalist and she's addressing the big adult world and telling them that you are not doing enough. We children are watching you, that you are not doing enough to save the world. Okay, so you must listen to that speech and you will see how meaningful it is. And she's another young enthusiast who is really very impressive with a very strong mission, like Miss Ishnur. All right? And you also have to become like that. When you listen to these strong speeches, they should inspire you and they should motivate you. All right? Okay. So after listening to Greta's speech, at least a bit of it, so what are the important points that come to our observation? Who would like to read it from the slide, please?
Hands up.
Read it out loud, please. Loud and clear with expression.
Go for it, Twishi.
Engage directly with your audience. Let it be a heart-to-heart conversation with them. Don't speak as an outsider, but be one of the audience and reach out to their heart before you can convince their mind.
Yes. So do you agree with this? Should we speak as an insider with the audience or as an outsider? Out of them or with them?
Thumbs up, middle down. I see ups, I see ups. Up.
Okay.
Good.
So up is for with them. Okay, good. And what are the important tips then? So we have to speak, and we need to have a lot of practice. And the more exposure you have to the public, the more chance you get to speak in front of a public, the more confident you will feel, right? And what are the steps to that? What are the steps to the stage when you actually start speaking and addressing an audience and being able to persuade them? You have to listen and read. You have to collect your material, okay? Which means that you have to do, what do you do when you are collecting material? What is that process called?
Shout out. Unmute yourself. When you need to find an answer to the question, what do you
When you-
do?
Research.
Research, yes, very good. So you explore the net and you do research. And while speaking, are we allowed to use some cheat notes, if they can be called that? Cheat notes or some prompts? Do you think it's a good idea to use flashcards and prompts? No, prompts and flashcards.
Yes.
Okay, that is a good idea because it helps you to just catch up with your points so that you're not missing out any points. All right. And what else can you do? What kind of practice can you do yourself to improve your public speaking? What can you do yourself? Shout it out.
Read it again and again.
Read it again and again, okay? Can you use any tool? Any of the tools that you use to play your video games? You're on it all the time. Yeah? Yes?
Aditya?
We can use a digital device to have a digital format of our speech, and on it we can edit it so that we don't continuously waste our energy in basically trying to edit the speech itself.
Yes, that's a very good point. And also, what I was aiming at was that you can grab your mobile phone and you can do your recording. You can do your voice recording so that then you can listen to it again and again, right? Okay? So you have so many devices these days, children. You don't need anybody's help. You can record your own voice and listen to it any number of times and see how well you have spoken. Okay? And each time it can be an improvement. Very good. And most importantly, as Aditya, is that the name, Aditya?
Yep.
Okay, good. So as Aditya pointed out, yes, you can use your devices, you can type your speech so that you can rephrase the sentences, you can add literary devices to it, and you can make it more impactful. So by adding more literary devices and good phrases, what are we doing? We are making our speech more what?
Better.
Okay, a better word for that?
My message
Presentable.
is that
Okay,
you can watch it.
presentable, right? We can make our speech more persuasive, right? Very good. All right. Now, let's look at the next slide. Yes, Anish.
Let it go. Can't hold it back anymore.
Yeah, so what is it? What do we learn from this slide? Yes,
I see mouths moving. You can unmute yourself.
Maitra. So what did you learn from that video clip?
What is she saying?
Ma'am, Ma'am, we were like learning the expressions, what the character was doing, and the voice modulation and the eye contact.
Oh, okay, all of that. Okay, nice, darling. So let it go. Feel free. Okay, you have to feel free when you're speaking, isn't it? Let it go. Shed all fears. All right? Now, do you know what is the fear of public speaking called? You're allowed to use the internet. We don't expect you to know this. Come on.
In the chat box.
Quick, who will be the fastest finder? Let's see.
Anxiety. Okay, stage fright. More technical term.
One word.
Fear. Okay. What is
For
a
fear. Look it up. Look up the fear for public speaking. Look up at the net on the net. It starts. Oh yes,
Oh.
yes, wonderful. So what is it called, Shaivi? Shout it out.
Glossophobia.
Glossophobia. Yes. Is that a new term for all of you? Okay, good. So we are going to get over this glossophobia. You know about the other phobias? Yeah? Can you mention one more phobia, anyone? Raise your hand.
Can I?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yes, please.
Hydrophobia.
Very good. Very good. Yes. So, darlings, when we are talking about phobias, those are extreme kinds of fear, right? People are afraid of closed spaces. That's claustrophobia. Afraid of fire. That's pyrophobia. So, there's a long list of phobias. But here we are actually talking about the normal fears that everyone experiences while on the stage, while in front of people. Okay? So, that just comes up. And if any one of you goes in for your medical studies, you will find out what is the reason for it. What is the chemistry and the biology behind it, which makes us feel nervous, right? When we have to speak on the stage. Okay. So the first very important step is that you have to shed all fears and you have to throw this glossophobia into the, where do you have to throw it?
Dustbin.
Into the dustbin, yes. That's Mrs. Shnoor's wonderful wonderful advice, and I really like it. Throw it into the bin, yes, into the garbage. All right, yes, Ishnoor, please take over.
Well done. So, what is the one and most effective way of getting rid of the glossophobia? Throwing it down the balcony, in the river, flowing it away. It is none other than confidence. But something to remember with confidence is not too much, not too little. Before we explore that further, let's watch this one more short clip.
It turns out like totally not good enough to be a music producer, which is cool and fun to know as I enter the rest of my life.
Okay, I'm just gonna stop you right there. You're the most talented person that I know, and I've met 3 of the Wiggles intimately. Becca, do you know how awesome you are? You're Becca effing Mitchell. Okay? You're the big BM. That's you. You're awesome. Do you need some of my confidence? Because I could maybe tone mine down a notch.
It's
Perfect. So it's all about somebody who is suffering from glossophobia, thinks she's not good enough, she can't go on public stage, and then somebody who has a little bit too much confidence. What does this remind you of? Looking at the screen in the chat box, what did this remind you of? Not too much, not too little, just the right amount. Goldilocks, well done. Not the too small chair, not the really big one, just the right size. And confidence is a very, very similar story. Exactly, not too hot, not too cold, just the right amount. We need
Right.
to have confidence, but it can't be overconfidence. We cannot overestimate ourselves, but we also cannot underestimate ourselves. And there's a very small circle around just the right amount of confidence. And hopefully, by the end of this webinar, you'll at least see yourselves in that little circle. If you're right here, you're going to go inwards. If you're a little far ahead, you might walk backwards a few steps. Great then.
Yes.
Let's move ahead.
Yeah, and very rightfully, so confidence, darlings, you can tell yourself that I'm the best. There's nobody better than me, but not getting overconfident. Yes, of course, you don't have to be overconfident, but you can pump yourself up. You can
Can I
definitely,
think why shouldn't be overconfident?
why should you not be overconfident? Darling, if you're overconfident, then many things will happen. Sometimes,
Ma'am, can I tell, like I know
yeah,
that.
yes, please.
So if you just become overconfident, like you get so, you think you're just very good, and then you start like boasting about yourself, and then something gets too wrong. Like some people, I've seen stories where people get so overconfident, like this, they just, in the competitions, they like are
Yeah.
totally out of control. They're
Absolutely,
stress.
yes, absolutely, darling. Have you heard pride hath a fall? Pride hath a fall. Have you heard of that quote?
No.
No, you haven't? Okay, look it up. Now, there are very interesting Greek stories in Greek mythology. There's a story about Icarus and Daedalus. You should look it up and watch the videos. Okay, that's about becoming overconfident and becoming very proud. So pride hath a fall. Overconfidence will always be thumbs down then. It'll take us downhill. You know, when we have lesser confidence, when we want to improve ourselves, then we will try to make an effort to improve, right? Okay, and if we begin to think that, oh, we are the best and there's nothing better to do and nowhere higher to go, from the peak, you can only have a downfall, right? So that's why overconfidence is not good. Right, darling? So now talking about overconfidence and talking about your feeling free, we come to what is called, let's read, what does the slide show? Ishnur ma'am will show it to you. What does it, can you read out what it shows?
Shout out, boys and girls. Shout it out.
Can I?
Yep.
Paralinguistic features.
Yes. And what does it mean? Read further. It's given there.
Para accept linguistic means language.
Very good.
Accept language. In
Okay.
other words, body language.
Very good. So body language and everything that goes with body language. Come on. All of you can make 1 point each. We don't have to tell you that. So what comprises of body language? Come on, everybody.
In the chat box. What is in body language? Actions, good. What is other paralinguistic features? Come on, recalling time. What do you think comes under body language? Emotions, okay. What else? Hand movements, good job. What else? Dressing, okay, could be. Emotion, anger, okay, nice. Good. Great then.
Okay, one more very important thing. And we want it to come from, oh, yes, exactly. So that's what I was waiting for, eye contact. Yes, darlings. Okay. So if we were looking up and speaking to you or looking left or right, come on, that would be really funny, isn't it? So we need to have right eye contact. We need to look at, yes, actions, gestures, posture. Very good. Posture is also very important. Wonderful. All right. Good. So that's all. You've already done it. Paralinguistic features, you know. So let's go ahead. And all right. Now, what about your voice? The quality of your voice. What all goes into that? Answer in the chat box, quick. Let's see your speed at typing. Come on.
Prosodic. Well done, Shayavi and Tushi. Prosodic features. What comes under prosodic features? Voice modulation, bang on. Tone, great. Pitch, nice. What else? Anything else? Does this help you? Volume, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
we're trying to do this back then.
Okay, very good. Well done, kids. Very good. All right. And what is one word which comprises, yes, another word for speed? Come on. Volume is done. Another word for speed. Starting with T. With T. 5-letter word. No, it's a 5-letter word. It's to do with speed, darling. Starting with T and ending with an O. Yes? No, darling, 5 letters word. Tone is 4 letters. Yes, yeah, whoever is raising the hand, please answer. Type it. Speed is to do with the speed of your verbal delivery. Very good. Well done. Tempo. Excellent. Good job done. Okay, Ishnur, please take over.
Well done then. Thank you, boys and girls. So now we know that we must have good posture, our tempo must be good, so on and so forth. But even after that, there is one more thing that we need to pay attention to. So let me start by asking you a question. On your screen, I have 2 sides. I have the left side and the right side. In the chat box, I want you to tell me which side do you prefer? Which side would you like to look at? The left side being the colorful slide and the right side being the dull slide. Okay, I have left. Colorful left, good, left. Left in caps locks. Great. Why would you prefer the left side is the question I want to ask in the chat box. Why the left side? What is not there in the right side that is there in the left side? It's bright. Good. Link it to the topic we are focusing at. What else does it link to? We need color in life. Good. That's deep. Good. It's colorful and it attracts us. There's a variety. Good job. Attractive. That's not dull. Exactly. Tom here also prefers the left side. So then, exactly. Well done. We need to have an interesting presentation. Just like the color was used to make impact to attract you, similarly, in speech writing, you also need to engage the audience. And you can do that with a number of things, and a couple of them we are going to explore in the coming slides. So then, we're going to now together answer the question, how can we speak English better? What is something that we can do to speak English better?
All right, children. So what do you see on the slide?
Atoms.
Atoms. Very good. Okay. So can you complete the sentence? What atoms are to matter, dash are to English language?
In the chat box?
What atoms are to matter, dash are to the English language or any other language?
Atoms are to that.
I'll give you a hint. The hint is on your screen.
W.
That's the first letter. Please mute yourselves. Okay. One more hint. One more coming your way.
It's words.
Very
Words. Very good. Yes, very good. So just as atoms are to matter, words are to language. Very good. And words are to any language, right? Okay. After words, what comes next after words?
Sentence.
Sentences, yes. So then we go into sentence formation, and what is the next step after sentences?
Paragraphs.
Yeah, no, paragraph, yes, no, but just looking at the sentences, what comes then? When you're writing sentences, you have to write dash.
Situation.
No, you have to just No, we have just 8 minutes left. I'm going to give you sentences and you're going to complete them, okay? So you have to write dash types of sentences. Come on, quick.
How many in the chat? How many?
You have to write dash types of sentences. Yes, different types. Very good. Yes, different types of sentences. Excellent. All right. I'm sorry, we don't have enough time to go into the different types of sentences, but you know that you're all smart kids. All right. So other than sentences, what must we do? We need to be careful about, different types of tenses, right, darling? Different tenses, different
Punctuation, conjunctions.
Yes, very good.
Prepositions.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you have to use, yes, absolutely. So you have to use a variety of, and the correct selection of parts of speech, okay? And in order to make your sentence really very meaningful and effective, which is very necessary for good public speaking, okay? What must a sentence include? In addition, phrases, yes? Phrases and literary devices, right?
Ma'am, vocabulary.
Yes, different vocabulary, very good. What about?
They should have interjections to make it more interesting.
Good. Yeah. And what about the literary devices and the tools?
You should have like
like a interesting voice. When something interesting comes, you should have like a oh this, and your face expressions should be like surprised when you're speaking.
Yes, yes. Mrs. Noor, we could take them to slide number slide number 49, please.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Noor, 49 slide, please.
Yep.
Okay. So children, now this is something here very important, that how important is vocabulary? Okay, you know about the different types of vocabulary, but you can also use different synonyms. Okay, for instance, now a very common word which is used by all the students is shows and tells. Okay, now what are the different words that we can use for shows and tells? I wish we had the time to extract the answers from you, but we are afraid we don't have that kind of time. But just giving you a little bit of a clue that you can use different expressions like brings out, projects, displays. Okay, when you all go to higher classes, then you will learn how to use different words instead of shows and tells. Okay, and another very interesting piece of knowledge about words, which I'm sure you already have, is the different forms of the word. Okay, now for instance, we have the word argue. So from argue, we have, we really need more time to, and perhaps we'll take up another seminar, another webinar in which we can take up all this with you, right, Ishnur?
Yep.
We can go into more details on that. So you have the word argue, for instance, and from argue, you will have argument, arguable, arguably, argumentative, argumentation. So all that is to do with vocabulary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Okay. Yes. Yes, please, Ishnur.
Great. Then moving ahead, we're going to boom through this activity. You're going to see 2 words in each slide of your screen, and you need to say which word is better. So the left side is a number 1, the right side is a number 2, and in the chat box you must put in a 1 or 2, deciding which is better. So out of the words different, exceptional, which word do you like better? 2, exceptional. Okay. Interesting. How about interesting and riveting? 1, 2. Leading more to 2 this time too. Interesting. How about broken and dilapidated? 2. Very quickly, I would like to tell you why most of you said 2 for most sides. Those are more specific, and those are much better words of those basic words that we hear all the time. In public speaking, using such words can really make your audience think that you've done lots of research in your speech. Additionally, you know exactly what you're talking about. So whenever you're writing a speech and you notice that there's one word that you've repeated lots of times, trying to find synonyms of the word is extremely helpful. So then, coming to the forest.
Yeah. So I believe that I think we'll need to take another webinar on all these techniques, right, Ishnur? But the forest, we will quickly revise. I'm sure all of you have learned something about it. So D is for, you can shout it out quickly. D
Direct
address. Direct address.
Okay, A.
Alliteration.
Alteration.
Yeah, alliteration and anecdote. Okay, you can also take up some interesting incidents when you're speaking. That makes your speech very persuasive and convincing and interesting. Okay, what about F?
Facts.
O.
Opinion.
R. Rhetorical question or repetition.
And repetition.
Very good. And what about E?
Exaggeration.
And also emotions, emotive words. Okay. What about S?
Statistics.
Yes. And what about T?
Tricolon.
Yeah. Tricolon, triples. Very good. Well done. Right. Yes, Ishnur.
Great then. So the question comes, so now we know all these skills, we know these and we know that. But the end question is, how do I speak better? So I have something here for you. I have a picture and I want you to really quickly tell me, what is this? In the picture, what is the main focus item? A mirror, correct. In the chat box,
Ma'am,
what
I
is
know why do we need to have a mirror while we are talking?
why?
Ma'am, while we are talking, we could like know how we are talking and eye contact, model and voice modulation and all, so that audience would like us and we
Exactly.
could edit our.
Exactly. So that's the physical part of the mirror.
Vishnu.
Metaphorically, a mirror. 1 second, don't interrupt me, sweetheart. Metaphorically, a mirror is a reflection of you, encouraging you all sitting here to reflect. Because what makes a great speech is an even better speech. My next question to you is, give me a thumbs up, middle or down. Have you ever felt nervous? Middle, up, mostly up. I have felt nervous all the time. I was very nervous coming to you here today. Has anybody faced this? So when you're walking on stage, do you feel this? Is this what you see? Because the first time I walked on stage, this was all I could see. There was just one big light right in my face. I was so scared to go up on stage. This is what I felt. I'm glad if you did not feel that way. The question is, do you ever feel blank when going on stage and like you've forgotten everything? Does that happen? Thumbs up, middle or down? Middle up. Okay. Interesting. So going on stage, some of you, we feel that we're going blank and we don't know what's happening. So how we can make this journey a chin up journey, and this is the last thing we're going to hear from Mrs. Pushpinder on how we can make this journey a chin up journey.
Yes. So all of us feel nervous. We are saying all of us, including ourselves, because we are all human, right? And we talk about throwing fears into the bin, but it's not that easy. Okay, but it can happen and it can be done. And how can it be done? By
being positive about ourselves.
Yes, being very positive, darlings. We need to control our mind and not the mind to control us. Okay? We need to be the boss. We need to be the master and we need to be the controller. And remember the 3 Ps. Okay, the 3 Ps are, in your public speaking, persuade, practice, and be positive. Okay? So positivity is very important. And we close our afternoon session on the 3 Ps. Don't forget them. What are they? What are they?
Positive, practice,
Very good. Persuade, practice, and positive. Excellent. Right.
Well done, then, boys and girls. Thank you so much for joining, taking your precious time out. Thank you so much, Mrs. Pushpinder Kaur, for giving us your precious time to come and speak to us and all these little children sitting right here.
Thank you so
Any
much.
questions that you have, please email us or message us. We would be super happy to answer them. And we can only look forward to our next webinar.
Thank you so much.